Hey, hey, welcome to lesson 2 of week 4. How's the weather? We got this little fly guy here. All right, so lesson 2 of week 4. Um, let's begin by taking a look at our end of unit activity. Remember, you are going to create a postcard and you're going to send it to a family member or friend about a trip that you took. And you're going to be sure that you share these things. Where did you go? What was the weather like? How did you get there? What did you do there? And what didn't you get to do? What was the best or most fun part? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to do today to build on so that you will be able to do this at the end of the week. Your target today is I can explain how the weather affects my activities by using past tense verbs and phrases with but and instead. So you're just basically thinking about what happens and what you do when the weather is rainy or what you do when the weather is sunny. We don't always get to do what we plan because we all know we are not in control of the weather, right? So you're going to need your pencils and your language log, page 16, for reference to complete this lesson today. We are going to start our learning, so fun, with a chant. I will practice it with you. I will sing it first, and then I'm going to give you the chance to do it, and then we'll do it together. Okay, so just listen carefully. Okay. What should we do when we get to the lake? We should fish together at the lake. If it's sunny, let's go. If it's rainy, no way. You want to try? Ready to do it? Let's go. Okay, I will say it and then you can say it. Ready? What should we do when we get to the lake? We should fish together at the lake. If it's sunny, let's go. If it's rainy, no way. Let's swap now. I'm going to be person A and you can be person B. Okay. What should we do when we get to the lake? If it's sunny, if it's rainy, woohoo! Good job. And you guys can definitely try it with other things too, with other picture cards. Like, what should we do when we get to the forest? We should hike together at the forest. Right, something like that. Awesome! You guys did such a good job. All right, we're done with it. Okay, past progressive verbs. We are going to begin today just by taking a look and reminding ourselves about those past progressive verbs. We're going to plus the present tense verb. So past progressive, you're taking were and then you're adding the present tense. So we're going to swim. We're going to ride our bike. We're going to fish. We're going to canoe in the lake. We're going to swim in the ocean. We're going to fish in the river. We're going to play in the waterfall. We're going to hike in the hills. Now, your present tense verb is, mind you, in present tense. So we are not adding or changing the actual word. It is just staying the same. Ride, canoe, swim, fish, play, or hike. Ride. Okay. Now, when we do simple past tense verbs, it's a little different. This time, we are going to add ed to the end of our past tense verbs, unless it's irregular, which we will talk more about. So some simple past verbs we may practice are rode bikes, canoed in the lake, swam in the ocean, fished in the river, played in the waterfall, hiked in the hills. Can you guess which one is irregular? If you noticed that swam and rode are irregular, great job. Both of those do not end in ed. We actually had to change the spelling of the actual verb to use the past tense. Good job. So the weather ruined our plans. What do we do, guys? We were going to, but it was too. So we were going to is what were you going to do? What were we going to do? And then that's where we're going to put our past progressive. So past progressive goes here, but it was to is where we're going to put our weather, right? So we were going to ride bikes. We were going to canoe in the lake. We were going to swim in the ocean. We were going to fish in the river. We were going to play in the waterfall. We were going to hike in the hills. What the weather was like, but it was too cold. So let's try it. Let's practice. I'll say it and then you say it. We were going to ride bikes, but it was too cold. We were going to camp, but it was too rainy. We were going to hike, but it was too hot. Yes, you're getting the hang of it using those past progressive. Alrighty, so we have to come up with new plans. So as we work to think about our new plans, we're going to use the word instead. So what did we do instead? And right here, we're going to put our simple past. Remember, simple past is those ed or irregular verbs. So we rode bikes instead. We canoed in the lake instead. We swam in the ocean instead. We fished in the river instead. We played in the waterfall instead. We hiked in the hills instead. Let's try. Let's practice together. We're going to combine our past progressive with our simple past. We were going to ride bikes, but it was too cold. We played cards instead. Your turn. Good. We were going to hike, but it was too hot. We swam in the river instead. Oh, your turn. We were going to hike, but good job. Okay, so now it's your turn to try it. How did the weather affect your plans? We were going to sleep outside, but it was too rainy. We stayed inside the tent instead. Your turn. Great. We were going to fish in the lake, but it was too windy. We hiked in the hills instead. Wow, you guys are doing such a good job. You're getting the hang of it. Okay, let's do one more. We were going to swim in the ocean, but it was too cold. We stayed inside instead. You notice how we use the past progressive and our past tense verbs? Great. This one you can try on. If you said we were going to canoe in the lake, but it was too hot, we swam in the lake instead. Correct. Good job reading. Remember, language is reading, writing, and speaking. So now it's your turn to write. Write what you can say. So, for example, we were going to build a bonfire, but it was too wet. We sang songs instead. You are going to share your writing on the Padlet link using the language that we have practiced today. You may use the vocabulary log, remember page 16, to support you when you write your sentence. I may even challenge you to write more than one. I bet you can do it. Tonight, with your family, I'm going to challenge you to share a time when you were forced to change your plan. Remember to say what you were going to do. You got to say what you're going to do first and what the weather was like. Then tell what you did instead. For example, we were going to walk around the block, but it was too stormy. We did a puzzle instead. Great job, guys. Remember, when you're done writing your sentences, you're going to share them on Padlet. I challenge you, if you want, to write more than one and to also read what your other classmates wrote. It's always good to hear and see what other people are writing. You're doing such a good job. I'll see you tomorrow.